I just want to say about the Appalachian Mountain Riders, T-Bone called for a ride. And as always, there's only one ride or die.
Peace out, brother.
T-Bone roars like a thunderstorm blast. Engine growling as the trees rush past. Wheels on fire carve the mountain's face. The legend rides with a reckless grace. T-Bone's shadow cuts the sky through the peaks where...
So the man said, in what direction do you want to go? To which I answered, I haven't been really in any direction this year. So you pick a direction and we'll go. So I got everything hooked up. We'll see how much of this you guys actually see. Right behind the milkman there. So we'll see where this day takes us. Alright guys, so we are on the river road. Looks like Highway 30 is going to be the number for today. Got traffic everywhere. Yeah, man, talk about the milkman there for a minute. That's my ride or die brother right there, boys and girls. 3 o'clock in the morning, I can knock on that man's door and tell him I'm in trouble and never have to worry about anything. Oh baby, that motorcycle's been on the channel several times. He actually told me the other day, just in a passing conversation, that he was thinking about selling, baby. That's crazy. But yeah, the milkman, that's my brother right there. We've, over especially the last 15 years, we've had a lot of riders, friends, and we still got a lot that have been around for a long time. At the end of the day, it always comes down to me and the milkman. That's my brother right there. Man, motorcycles everywhere in Cali. Yeah, I'll tell you something, guys. I'm liking riding with the DJI. Of course, I put out the under construction video, Saturday video, I think, where I showed you guys how I was going to do things for a little while. I built the boom. Now, guys, this is me talking. This is the microphone on my face, just out in front of me. I built a boom for it out of a metal clothes hanger. DIY all day. I've learned one thing about this DJI camera with the dead cat on top of it. It is multi-directional, but when you have the clip facing away from you, meaning the front of the microphone is facing towards you, it really does better at picking up audio. But I'm out on Papa today. I'm going to ride out on the big Papa today. Just cruising around, guys. Just cruising around, enjoying the day. As far as the mental health things going, guys, I'm feeling a lot better. I mean, I wasn't depressed. I was just, you have those moments and you have those times, guys, where, you feel like you've done everything you can do and you've thrown everything against the wall, and, you get disappointed when things don't stick. But I was putting a lot of pressure on myself with this channel for no reason. Of course, that's one of those things that, somebody from the outside can say it all day, that you're putting too much pressure on yourself, and I was. But taking a break from doing things, and like I said, I'm working with the different camera now, the DJI. Of course, I'm not going to ever walk away from the GoPro, I don't think, unless they just force me to. But this setup here, being all wireless, the DJI, and I did some research before I jumped into this on the Osmos Pocket 3. It touts itself as a action camera, so I thought, this is action right here, riding a motorcycle. This is the action we're looking for. But anyway, guys, I'll bring y'all back when we get down here to Highway 30. Beautiful ride through there. I guess we're headed to Tellico Plains, Tennessee today. Nice little loop. This is the road, a lot of y'all who've been here for a long time, y'all have heard me tell the story about my motorcycle accident that I had years ago. Y'all know that this road, Highway 64 between Ducktown, Tennessee and Cleveland, Tennessee is where I had my bad wreck. You know, it was a while before I ever got really comfortable enough to ride this road again. You know, ride it comfortably. I would ride it, but I'd always be a little bit uptight and, you know, just in certain spots. But that's neither here nor there. You know, as far as doing the moto vlogging with the DJI camera, you know, this setup right here, what we got going on right here, which with the GoPro, I do have a different boom, and I've already got a microphone for the GoPro set up on it. I got the chest mount now. I could do this setup right here with the GoPro. I can. Now, I don't have a wireless mic with the GoPro, so I'd have a wire out here flapping in the wind, but that's all right. That's cool. It ain't no big deal. But, you know, I like to use the tools that I got available to me. And like I said in the other video I made, you know, while you're under construction, this is the time to start trying new things. Time to start seeing what's going to work and what ain't going to work. But anyway, I'll bring y'all guys back just a second. Hang tight. All right, guys, we are on 30. Now, 30 cuts off of Highway 64. Beautiful road to ride right here. This is. Oh man, and I can lay. I've got some cool music now that I got off of the Suno app, the AI music. They made me up a couple of pretty cool songs. You know, I did one rock song and I did one that's kind of a country, slower country song. I think I've got 3 songs that I've done. I don't want to do like a, you know, 50 or 100 songs. You know, 1, 2, 3 songs. That's pretty cool. Kind of set the song to your mood. But, yeah, man. You know, me and the milkman, we're getting on up there about the middle age mark now, so I don't know, you know. You always hope you got several more years together riding, but, you know, he has pretty serious health issues. But he always about riding, and he's always talking about getting him a trike. He says, you know, before he gives up, he'll go to 3 wheels. I get it. You know, if he could still ride on 3 wheels and enjoy it, which he would, as long as he's in the wind. Milkman, he's like me. He's not really brand specific. You know, he loves his Harleys, of course, but we appreciate a Honda. We appreciate a Kawasaki, a Suzuki. I'm not a Yamaha man, and, you know, Milkman is. Damn, this, woohoo, what a curve. I don't know how well that translates on the camera, but some of these curves, man, they'll lay you down. This is definitely 3rd, 4th gear country through here. I'm watching the gimbal on this camera, y'all. It's just, this is just a cool little camera. Yeehaw. But I'm going to back out of here and let y'all enjoy this road with us.
T-bone roars like a thunderstorm blast. Engine growling as the trees rush past. Wheels on fire carve the mountain's face. The legend rides with a reckless grace. T-bone shadow cuts the sky through the peaks where eagles fly. Leather and steel, he's the king of the trail. On his iron beast, he will never fail. Jagged cliffs, watch him break and his only friend. Gravel sprays like sparks from a flame, every mile etched with his untamed name. T-bone shadow cuts the sky through the peaks where eagles fly. Leather and steel, he's the king of the trail. On his iron beast, he will never fail. Watch him race the wind. Freedom's his curse and his only friend. Gravel sprays like sparks from a flame, every mile etched with his untamed name. T-bone shadow cuts the sky through the peaks where eagles fly. Leather and steel, he's the king of the trail. On his iron beast, he will never fail. Smoke and dust swirl in his wake. The earth trembles with each move he makes. The mountains whisper tales of his ride. A lone wolf howling with the wild inside.
Through the peaks so high he roams alone. T-bone rides where the wild winds have blown. A shadow cast on the jagged stone. A legend lives where the seeds are sown. Carving canyons with his steady hand. The mountains pulse he understands. Through the
Alright guys, so we're still cruising on 30. We found us a little hole in the wall country store. Had to fuel up. Yeah, the Mountain Dew's here. Oh man. Not to wax philosophical guys, but yeah, I could show y'all that, but you wouldn't believe it. But not to wax philosophical, but you know, it's just one of those things, guys, where I've noticed that there's a lot of things changing on a lot of different channels, you know, when it comes to YouTube. It's not just my channel. You know, mental health, man. Men's mental health, you know. Like Brother Sterling Will. Shout out to Sterling. You know, Sterling, he uprooted his life and he's moved across the country to Georgia, trying to get his life got back together. He did it for his mental health. You know, you got to give a man props like that. He realized that he was in a bad situation. He was in a toxic situation. He found that he wasn't happy. And I mean, you know, when you're not happy, you try to figure it out. You know, you don't just sit around and you say, man, one someday. Well, you know, you get in those situations where someday never comes. And, you know, big up to Sterling for being able to put a plan together, execute the plan, you know, and we're rooting for you, Sterling. Absolutely, brother. We are rooting for you. You know, when it's seeing somebody take control of their life. And I've known friends of mine before who, you know, you kind of talk to them about changes going on in their life, and they always just kind of say, you know, I didn't recognize myself anymore. I didn't even know who I was anymore. And, you know, I get that. You know, when you're trying and, you know, you're not happy and you're bowed down, and you know, you're in a situation that is making you feel like it's bringing out the absolute worst in you. I mean, that's, you know, big ups to somebody who can, you know, get themselves out of that situation, who are willing to do what it takes to get themselves out of that situation. You know, it's kind of one of them things, like we always say, you know, nobody's going to come and save you. You're going to have to make a move for yourself. You know, nobody's going to, you know, not everybody has your best intentions in heart. And, you know, big ups to Sterling for doing that, man. That's, you know, he's on a journey now, and fortunately, as far as YouTube goes, you know, he's bringing us all along on the journey, and you know, we're out here rooting for you, brother. You know, I want to see you get back to a spot with your mental health where you're happy being you. You know, you're just happy, and sometimes you got to walk through hell to get to the other side, and you know, that's just it's part and parcel of being a man, I guess, or anybody. It ain't just a man thing. I don't want to break it down to just being a man. There's a lot of ladies out there who have put up with a lot with their mental health, that, you know, being taken away from them and being put through the ringer. And we're going to stop at another store, okay? Get it. So I'll come back to y'all here in just a minute. Let's see what we're doing here. I'll tell you guys, Milbank can go anywhere in the country and he stops and knows somebody. That little stop there, they do floating, tubing down the Hiwassee River and all that right there. But that kind of caught me off guard, because we stopped at that first store as you're coming into Reliance, Tennessee. And normally we don't stop there. We normally stop at the one that we just pulled into. But he caught me off guard. I thought we were turning to hit this other road, and the next thing I know, we're turning all the way into the parking lot. I'm like, okay, well, let me see what's going on here. Milkman. Me and him have took off on motorcycles and ended up on some pretty crazy adventures. Oh, man. Yeah. These are, man, I'll tell you, these roads right here have got some serious curves in them. The gimbal on this DJI is doing its job trying to keep up with everything. Woohoo! Snake and stick. Okay. Beautiful riding through here through Reliance, Tennessee is where we are. Just reset your soul out here riding in these areas. Out in what we call God's country. But yeah, before I was interrupted, I was talking about Brother Sterling Will there, and you know, it kind of is an inspiration to see a man take the initiative that he needs to take. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to wax philosophical on that subject, but just know, Sterling, we pulling for you, brother. You know, sometimes you just got to figure out what you got to do to make you happy. Because I tell you, if you're not happy, and this goes for anybody, it don't have to be a man or woman specific. If you're not happy, then I promise you, you're making everybody else around you miserable. And I've been there. I've had times where, you know, R1's come to me and she's like, man, you must have had a really bad day at work. And you try not to carry that stuff home with you when you've had a bad day and things ain't going the way they're supposed to. I mean, you don't want to carry that stuff around with you, but sometimes you just can't get away from it. But I tell you what, guys, I ain't going to blow all my batteries out here on this, so I'll check with y'all. I'm just going to jump off here and enjoy this ride. I'll check with y'all here in just a little bit. Now, tell you something, guys, we just passed about 60 motorcycles, had cops in among them. Of course, doing a memorial ride, I'm certain. Love seeing it. Love seeing it. Those are good rides when you get out. And I'll be honest, we've talked about this before on the channel. I've reached that age, and of course now, guys, we're in Monroe, Tennessee, headed still toward Telecom Plains. But I've gotten where I've reached the age where I just don't want to ride with a big group of people. I just, 4 or 5 people, that's pretty cool. And you start mixing it up 20, 30, 40, 50 motorcycles. You gotta be on your toes. And, there's dynamics to riding in groups that big. I mean, what's the speed? Do they like riding fast? Do they like riding mid-level? What is the level of the experience of the riders that are with you? How many, novices do you have in your group? A lot to take into consideration. But yeah, man, this setup's working out pretty good, guys. I can just flip the camera off and turn it all around. Certainly this video will come out. Of course, we'll probably be still labeling as under construction. I'm still working out things, still working on things that I want to do. But I'm digging this right here, though. I'm digging this, and I know the audio's coming in good, I hope. People always, I always get compliments on the channel about the audio on my videos. I've always been fortunate with the audio because in the beginning, when all this started, when I first started doing this, I was listening to what everybody was saying, and I was kind of reading between the lines of what was being said. And audio is just one of those things that we always fight with it. Even my audio, I still wonder about it sometimes. How's it turn out? Is it good? Is it grainy? Especially when you're dealing with a wireless microphone like this right here, and you're riding open face, with just the shell on, skid lid. Fortunately, the microphones that I bought, like my wire-in mic that I use on the GoPro, it is a noise-canceling microphone. So meaning when I'm talking, my voice supersedes whatever wind or noise is going on around me. So far, the little bit of recording that I've done with this microphone on the open face here like this, it seems like that's kind of the case with it. But man, I tell you, this DJI microphone, guys, this thing's kind of top of the line as far as microphones go. Or as I can see, I know people use like the Purple Panda. Of course, it's all relative. It's whatever you want to use. The DJI wireless mic, though, I've had pretty good reviews on this. I like it. I mean, all this audio may be crap. They may not know this be turned out the way I want it to. But tell you what, guys, I'm just going to back out of here, and I'm going to get us a nice ride clip. So y'all hang loose. All right, guys, we are coming into Highway 39. Getting closer, inching in closer to Telly-Old-Co Plains. I'm behind you, brother. You go, I go. Highway 39, guys. No milkman up there trying to make the play. Oh, motorcycles everywhere, guys. We've seen a ton of motorcycles today. Makes me happy. More of us you see, the less of them you see. I don't know who won the road glide that was being raffled off for Forgotten Angels. But, man, that was a good looking bike. I bought a ticket, didn't win, but that's cool. I bought the ticket to help Forgotten Angels. The motorcycle would have just been a bonus. Hey, RV park down there, guys. RVs everywhere. That is a cool thing to be able to do. Gotta love it, gotta love it. All right, guys. Been riding for a while, hadn't been recording much. Oh, came through Telly-Co, going through Coker Creek and Ironsburg right now. But I thought I'd come back and end this video. It might make it. If it makes the cut, you'll see it. If it don't, you won't. But if it does, glad y'all got to come out and ride with me. As we are under construction with Rolling with Keith T-Bone, trying to figure out what the future holds. Been a good ride though. But if you are new here, remember to like, share, and then go back through some of our archives to check out some of our other videos. And if you think that we're right for you, maybe consider giving us a subscribe, a like, all that good stuff. But I'll tell you what, guys, until the next time, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and hey, thanks for watching.